Welcome to the Box Score Sports Podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. You ready to go on to my Miami Dolphins?
Yes, sir. Let's dive, man.
Let's do it. My Miami Dolphins. What was your favorite move the Dolphins made this offseason?
You're going to love this. I love that they paid Tua all of that money to lock him
Uh,
up for the next several years. Just love it.
Are you speaking from the perspective of like an unbiased fan or a Bills fan?
Yes.
Yes.
Both. No,
Well,
from a Bills fan perspective, but I don't know. It's my favorite thing that they did.
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. They had to do it,
Yes.
unfortunately. Or fortunately. Like it's hard for me because like he's the best quarterback we've had since Marino. And I don't know if it's him and the system that works so well with him. It's just that you're paying him just as much as playoff winning quarterbacks, and he hasn't been able to do that yet. He can't even throw in cold weather. So
Yeah, it'd be hard to argue that if Tannehill back in his prime was with this roster construction, they'd be about on the same level.
it's possible. Yeah. 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 That's good.
What about your favorite thing?
Anthony Weaver. I like that they got the defensive coordinator from Baltimore, or well, he wasn't the defensive coordinator, but he was part of their defensive secondary and linebackers, I think. But he comes from that system. They had one of the best defenses last year. I think they'll add a new spin. I liked Vic Fangio last year, but it really sounded like he rubbed some people the wrong way, including our corner we drafted last year, Cam Smith. Like he just did not like Cam Smith. So like we lost a year of growth of that corner because like Fangio didn't like him. So I'm kind of hoping he comes in. He'll do some unique things. And we know with Baltimore, they develop pass rushers real well. So I'm hoping he brings some of that into Miami.
Yeah, I like it.
Least favorite move the Dolphins made.
It's not very meaningful, but Jonnu Smith, I don't think he's produced for any of the teams in the last several years. I think he played with the Patriots last. He's just not been that productive. It's not that big of a contract. I think it's a 2-year, $10 million deal, but
Yeah.
he's going to steal reps from maybe a younger guy that would produce a little more.
Yeah, I like that one. I'm kind of curious too, though, if it's like Jonnu Smith or the fact that Mac Jones was throwing him the ball the last 2 years.
Could be.
One could hope. That's my cope. Is like, oh well, Mac Jones is throwing the ball, but you're right. He hasn't done much, so that's not a great sign. Losing Christian Wilkins, I know that's your favorite Dolphin of all time.
Yeah, love
He's
that.
he as annoying as he was, yeah. So losing him's rough, but I also put that Shaq Barrett retired right before the season started. That was rough because we were kind of relying on him while our two defensive ends got healthy and Phillips and Chubb. So that was a little rough as well. And I also will miss Jerome Baker. I know he wasn't he was good, but like, yeah.
Yeah.
What was
You
that?
think that one of our special teams guys, I forget what his name was, but he was like one of our best special teamers. Saran Neal.
Yeah.
I signed. He's pretty good at special teams, so he'll fill in that role.
Yeah. He was our starting linebacker, middle linebacker. He was actually a pretty solid pass rusher, just that he was a little deficient everywhere else. But I really liked him anyway. But anywho, biggest green flag for the Dolphins.
It's how many points your offense is going to score, like with Tyreek Hill and Waddle just crushing down the field. I mean, you would think there's going to be a lot of games where they're putting up 30 points. Your defense might just have to get a stop or two if your offense is putting up that many points in a game.
Yeah, I agree. I have offense / Mike McDaniels. He's still kind of a gem to me. I like him a lot, and that is my biggest green flag. That offense will put up numbers. I don't know if they'll score 70 points again this year, but who knows? Biggest red flag.
We heard it a lot in the media last year. Can this team win against playoff caliber teams? What were they, 1-6?
I don't know. I don't think they won a game against a playoff team last year. I think that's what the
I thought I heard that they were either 0-5 or 0-6, 1-6, something like that, where they didn't win hardly any games against anybody over 500. So
Right.
that's the big red flag. Can you beat good teams? You've got two really good teams that are going to fight for a playoff spot within your division. So there's 4 games right there that you're going to have to go up and compete against really good teams. Let alone finishing second. You're going to be playing a lot of other divisions, second best teams. So can you win against those good playoff caliber teams?
Yeah, that's a good one. And not only that, but can you win in the cold? Because like if you're not going to get the number 1 seed, you're going to have to play in cold weather in the playoffs. So you got to figure out a way to win in the cold. So,
and
yeah.
I think you can correct me if I'm wrong, but they need to carry momentum going into the playoffs, and that's going to be tough going along with playing in the cold because they play week 17 at Cleveland and then week 18 at New York Jets.
Yeah.
There's 2 cold outdoor end of December, beginning of January games away. Can you figure it out?
Yeah. So they're at Green Bay Thanksgiving night, and then they got Cleveland and New York. So those 3 games presumably could be all cold. That would be nice tests for them.
Yeah.
Down the stretch. Yeah. And Cleveland might be cold too. That's a night game in Cleveland, right? Oh, I said Cleveland.
Yep.
Dummy. Okay.
But making sure those last 2 games while they're in the cold, can you carry any sort of forward momentum if you are in that playoff position? Because you don't want to go into the playoffs on 2 losses. You don't want playoffs on 2 really bad losses in cold weather and then have to play somewhere else that's cold.
Correct. And what's such a bummer is like the Dolphins last year, they had the division basically in hand, and then that stretch hit that in December where it's like, and then they fell apart, and the Bills just trucked forward, and they couldn't beat the Bills either time. So it's like, it's one of those things. We gotta see it. Red flag for me is just the edge rushers. There's a couple other things I could hit on, but specifically the edge rushers, that's what I'm most concerned about. So Phillips and Chubb both had season-ending injuries last year. So are they going to come back? How healthy will they be, and how effective will they be? Because we need to get to the quarterback. Someone like Josh Allen, got to get to Josh Allen. You got to get to Aaron Rodgers. But especially Josh Allen. So to me, we need them healthy, but that's a concern right now because I think Phillips got off the PUP list, but we're waiting on Chubb, so we'll see what happens.
Okay. That'd be impressive because he tore his Achilles, correct?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and that's usually 12 months.
Yeah. They seem to heal like faster nowadays.
Yeah, they're doing different procedures now that aren't as archaic.
Correct. Okay. Fantasy football go-to?
The number 1 choice is Tyreek Hill, but I figured everybody would say that. So I'd go with A-Chain.
Oh, I like it.
And Waddle.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like I would say just draft Dolphin, like the Dolphins offensive weapons. You know, if you miss out on some of the best quarterbacks, Tua is a good option. Like if you wait for later quarterbacks, like down the line, because he's going to get a lot of touchdowns and big plays depending on your league scoring. So yeah, I'm with you there. Let's see here. Prediction. What's your prediction, Avery?
I got 9-8. Like I said, you've got a really tough division where you play 4 games against the Jets and the Bills. Those are all going to be tough games. They've got a tough schedule. They play the Niners. They played some good teams. They play the Packers, the Niners. There's a lot of good teams that they do play. So I got them going 9-8.
Okay. I just have them 1 game ahead. I have them 10-7. So me and you just have the Dolphins and Jets flipped around.
Yep.
Okay. You ready to talk about your Bills?
I'd like to. If you want to let me open up, I'd be happy to.
Go ahead. Thanks so much for watching this clip of the Box Score Sports podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter or X. And we'll talk to you guys real soon. See ya.